Don't talk anymore. Just do exactly what I say. I want you to come around in front. Stand right there. Take off your boots.
Are you watching the Made for Love series on HBO Max and catching those life lessons? Let's talk about them. Welcome to Lessons from Shows, and thanks for tuning in. If you spend a lot of time watching movies and TV shows and love to reflect back on the lessons you can take away from them, then you're going to love this channel. So click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. On this episode, we're talking about Made for Love, HBO Max series, specifically episodes 1 through 3, because that's how far I am. There will be spoilers beyond this point, so with that being said, let's jump right in. Coming in number 3, if you want to be truly connected with your partner, then you have to practice radical honesty, thoughtfulness, and maturity. You don't need to implant a dang chip into your head.
Made for Love is operational. Commingled minds, commingled identities, secrets dismantled, pure union.
What are you doing?
Hazel and I are users 1. Tomorrow, friends, Hazel and I will get our chips implanted. 2 bodies will remain just like you see today, but our minds will be one. Clap! It's... Thank you.
Byron, played by Billy Magnuson, I think that's how you say that guy's name. He's the CEO of a company called Google, and they believe it's time for love to evolve too. And by that, he means couples putting chips in their head.
Love. It's the center of our lives. But our lives have changed. The world has evolved around us.
In the advertisement for this, they say, now you and your partner can truly come together, every thought, every feeling shared, your brains fully connected, a network of 2 because you are made for love. Now, this vision is not what makes a healthy relationship. Number 1, it completely erases individual identity. There is a reason we are born as individuals and not conjoined at the hip to our quote unquote soulmate. Number 2, it doesn't consider thought distortions. Have you ever heard of the phrase, think before you speak? Most of the time, our initial thoughts are not the best thoughts, but when we take a moment to think through them, look at things through different angles, we're able to come up with better conclusions. If couples shared every thought with each other, it would only lead to disaster.
I thought we were happy.
I wasn't. I want a divorce.
Then there's this whole concept of being in sync. I think many people think they want to be fully in sync with their partner, but they don't take the actions required to make that happen. Being in sync with your partner means being honest without being cruel, and then genuinely listening to understand the other person's perspective. But guess what? We make it hard because of our ego or fear of being vulnerable. This is a relationship skill we need to build, and technology can't solve it.
That is a fear-based response. That we, people, think transparency leads to rejection. Why? But with this chip, couples will, for the first time in history, have true, authentic, honest relationships. You just what? Talk to me.
Nothing.
See, this is a perfect example why Made for Love is such a great product. It'll close the gap between our miscommunications. There'll be none.
So in this scene, Byron is convinced that if he had access to Hazel, the protagonist, her thoughts, then there would no longer be any secrecy nor privacy in the relationship. But if you need an app to break down the secrecy and privacy in your relationship, then your relationship is not in a good place. You can be in sync and fully connected with your partner. You just have to be willing to communicate even when it makes you feel vulnerable. Number 2, bottling things up never ends well.
Would you put one of these chips inside your brain?
Well,
It is clear that the protagonist, Hazel, played by Kristen Melody, is unhappy, but so far in episodes 1 through 3, she never vocalized it while she was with her partner. There are multiple times when she started to speak her mind, but she quickly dismisses her feelings and plays along. As the show progresses, it becomes more obvious that Hazel is being held captive at her compound, but even more so, it appears that Hazel is also imprisoning herself mentally by never speaking her mind. This later on leads to a suicide attempt in the pool. Even though they made it light and comedic, it highlights the dangerous side effect of bottling things up.
Talk to me.
Nothing.
If you are not happy, talk to someone. And if you find it hard to do that with a significant other, friendly family member, then seek therapy. Coming in number 1, life doesn't happen by waiting for it to happen.
You good? Maybe you want those things right now. But that's kind of always been your problem, hasn't it? Not knowing how you feel. You don't know what you want because you don't know how you feel about anything. I'm actually helping you. Don't look at me like that!
So in this scene, Byron's statement that she didn't know how she felt resonated with Hazel because she knows that's something she does struggle with. Even though I'm only 3 episodes in, I have a theory of how Hazel and Byron got to this point. We got to see some of Hazel's backstory. She was raised in a low-income family, so when she met Byron, she saw his passion and lifestyle he can offer and thought she was attracted to that, and she got sucked in. But I don't think Hazel really took a moment to determine if that life is really what she wanted.
I am the only person who actually loves you. Objectively.
People love me.
Who? Your dad? Not to be mean, but he loves a sex doll. Come on, Noodle. The chip showed me. You don't even love you. You don't even know how to love.
Byron seems like a dominating personality, so even if she did present hesitation or expressed not wanting something, he probably steamrolled her into believing that's what she wants. Then you combine that with the fact that she defaults to bottling things up. It's no wonder Hazel was so emotionally stretched. Hazel just went along for the ride, just hoping for things to get better, and this is clear when she says,
Did you ever actually love me?
I don't know.
And you stayed anyway.
Yeah, I thought it would happen.
This one hit home because I was in a relationship for 4 years, and while I vocalized that I love that person, I didn't really feel those emotions, but I just kept thinking the longer we stayed together, it would happen. The reality is I rushed into a serious relationship before building a relationship with myself. You have to take the time to do the inner work and not rely on external factors because it will only lead to disappointment. Before I give this show a score based on life lessons and share some other tidbits that were good, open up your browser or open up a new tab and type in lessonsfromshows.com. This is going to allow you to join the Show Buff Squad. Again, that's lessonsfromshows.com. The rating I give this show based on life lessons is 3.5 claps. It gives us lessons on love, not only between two people, but also with yourself. If you think there are lessons I missed or you have a different interpretation of the scenes I mentioned, then drop your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a like so that more people get clued up on the lessons and shows. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all